Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Optimal Function. I'm Dr. Jim Morgenstern, one half of the Optimal Function podcast. And today we're gonna be covering some ankle mobility drills. This is gonna team up with episodes 3 content. So what you guys wanna have is possibly a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball for some work that we're gonna do on the plantar fascia. We're also gonna need a foam roller to do some things for the back and front of the calf. And I'd also like you guys to have a mobility band anchored to something like a rig, or if you've got a couple of heavy dumbbells, you can anchor to that. So grab a couple of those items and let's follow along. All right guys, so the first thing that we're gonna do is take that band, hook it against something like a rig or a heavy set of dumbbells, and I want you to attach it just behind the Achilles tendon on the back side of your ankle here, okay? We're gonna get into a standing position, and what I want you guys to do is to take a step back till that band starts to really traction nicely along the back side of the ankle. And what we're gonna do here is either take the foot behind us or in front of us, and we're just gonna start to work that knee forwards and backwards, letting that band distract the back of the cord on that back side of that ankle there, okay? We're looking for about 60 seconds worth of work here, okay? And what we're gonna do after that is we're just gonna simply face the other direction, okay? So now this band is gonna be on the front side of the ankle, right along where the talus and the tibia kind of meet. You're gonna find a little junction right where that band feels kind of nice. And again, either this back leg is gonna stay truly behind you, and we're gonna shift the front leg forward and backwards, the knee. One thing you might be able to see here in the video is I'm trying to keep an active arch in the bottom of my foot. You'll see that if I go too far here, the arch collapses and I'm no longer getting the benefit of the mobility drill. So really try to keep the big toe attached to the floor, the pinky toe tacking to the floor, and the heel. So those are your 3 points of contact, moving it forward and backwards. All right guys, so after we've done that drill, we're gonna move on to something for the back side of the calf on a foam roller, okay? So you guys can take a foam roller, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right where that Achilles attaches to the heel there, and we're gonna cross the other leg over for some downward pressure. And then what I'm gonna do with that bottom leg is just simply go through flexion and extension, and maybe drawing the biggest circle that I can. Whatever cue works good for you, but we're trying to spend another 60 seconds working on the back side here, right where that Achilles meets the heel, okay? Some folks like to spell the alphabet. You can go through and spell the alphabet, capital letters, lowercase letters, whatever it is that you can do to start to loosen up the back of that tendon and free that structure up, okay? You can work back and forth there just like that. Face a different direction for you. So again, downward pressure, taking this foot. Oh yeah, look at the bottom of those feet. Nice and dirty. So we're gonna go through and draw big circles nice and slow. Or what you can do here is you can start to work back and forth, okay? You can start to add downward pressure with this, and we're gonna move the foot back and forth. If you guys have ever done like an Indian burn back when you were a kid, how you can get the skin to move over top of the muscle, you can accomplish the same thing here, using the foam roller and then just working back and forth, creating a better sliding surface, which will increase blood flow and nutrient flow to the area. Plus it feels really darn good when you're done, okay? Now, we can take that same idea and work anywhere from down here all the way up to where the belly of the calf attaches behind the knee. I just wanted to show you where I say we start to free it up. So I like to start low, and then what I could do is I could split the difference. We can go up a third. Again, downward pressure, working back and forth sideways, or get right back into spelling the alphabet, okay? Don't overthink this, just try to create movement as you tack down pressure. Of course, you can take some extra load. Sandball, right in front of that shin there. Ooh, baby, you can feel that one. So we're gonna work through some downward pressure as well as going back into working those circles or spelling the alphabet. Then once again, I can move the foam roller up, and that's a whole new sensation. I'm right where that gastroc and soleus attachment come together. And then I can rotate the hip outward and start to get a little bit of bias from the outside of that tissue there on the outside of the calf, or I can rotate inward at the hip and get a bias on the medial side of the calf. All are fair game and all feel just as good. So the next thing that we want to work on is the actual anterior portion of the calf. Not a lot of people even go there or try to free up any of this tissue. But if you come down and try to move the skin back and forth across the front of that ankle there, you'll see it doesn't move a whole lot. And if it's something that you guys have discovered kind of shin splints throughout the years after running or really restricted ankle mobility, this next drill might be that one piece that unlocks the rest of the ankle motion. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna focus on one shin at a time. We're gonna come on top of the foam roller here, and then that weight alone is pretty intense for me. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of load into that, and I'll start to rock back and forth, freeing up some of that tissue right in front of the ankle joint, okay? What I'll also do is mix that up with some movement of that same side foot into plantar and dorsiflexion, okay? And then what I can start to do is work through mini circles. This is a little bit harder because there's not enough space there, but just trying to free that up a little bit, okay? Again, this drill would be another 60-second drill. You're always welcome to go longer, but don't kill it before that time. I wanna make sure you guys get the full benefit of this, okay? And I'm gonna face this direction to kind of show you this. Again, I'm sitting back on the ankle, working through the little mini circles here. A couple each direction. And then I can free up that tissue back and forth as I sit on it, okay? The one thing I will say for a lot of you out there, you may not have that knee range of motion, or it may not feel very good to sit on your knees. You can take a couple of those cushiony pads and set those down, but I really wanna make sure you guys can add, that pressure to the ankle and free that up, because that can really start to feel amazing, especially when you get to the bottom of the squat position. You can really start to feel how that's freeing that up, okay? The last drill we're gonna work on is for the plantar fascia, the bottom of the foot. I can't tell you guys enough, if we free up the bottom of the foot, that can have benefits all the way up the kinetic chain into your lower back, and even up to your posture and your neck. So we wanna spend about 2 minutes per ball. I like a tennis ball to start, kind of warms up the area. You can put some downward pressure into a tennis ball because it has some give. The lacrosse ball will be next for more of the tighter taut structures. Remember, a lacrosse ball has no give. It's a solid rubber ball. Same size as the tennis ball, but a little bit more painful, if you will. So I want you guys to start with the tennis ball, and we'll do the demo with the tennis ball, but make sure you guys know you can go up to the lacrosse ball after you're done. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set up, and we're gonna put the ball just right in the middle of the foot, okay? And I like to start right under the big toe tendon, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add some downward pressure, curling the toes under, lifting the toes up. Curling the toes under, lifting the toes up. And we can start to get into a little bit of a roll. And whenever you find a really good spot, I want you guys to kind of go back into the knee, moving out over the toes a couple different ways, okay? So what I'm doing right here is focusing on the knee moving out towards the big toe, and then I'll work it out towards the little toes. Be sure to keep downward pressure here. The ball likes to fly out towards you in the camera, okay? What I'll do is I'll show you from the front here a little bit too. Loading into the ball, working in and out of flexion at the knee. And then we can start to get into a little bit of, almost like you're trying to smush a bug, try to work through a little bit of back and forth to create a better sliding surface on the bottom of that plantar fascia, okay? There's no wrong way to do it, just provide variety. These are structures that we stand on all day long, so they can really appreciate a little bit of time releasing there, okay? Get rid of that ball. That's already starting to feel much better. Now when I get into the lacrosse ball, gotta be a little more gentle because this ball doesn't have much give. So I'll kind of work back and forth here, scrunching and lifting the toes. And we're working our way from here to the middle of the foot and then eventually down to the heel, okay? Once you start getting to the heel, you can really start to load up that tissue pretty darn aggressively to free that up, okay? Thanks again, guys, for stopping by for the ankle mobility series. I hope you all enjoyed all the exercises. Give them all a try. Let us know what you think. We appreciate the feedback as always. Other than that, hope you guys have a fantastic week. Dr. Jim signing off for Optimal Function. See you guys.